Hello there, and welcome to the People Podcast. My name is Sarah Marwood. I'm Head of People and Talent here at Passle, and I'm very glad to be joined by Dionne Cole, who is here with me here today on the podcast to talk about her experience over the last year, where she's been working alongside Charlie, Natasha, and Sam in our marketing team. Hey, Dionne, how are you? How's your day going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Yes, very busy, but busy's good. And yeah, I'm very, very glad to be to chatting with you because I'm excited to hear how you found the past year and how you've got on within the marketing team. So yes, Dionne, I've got a load of questions here that I'm really interested in asking you and kind of hear your opinion on how you've got on it over the past year. So let's kick off. So first things first, Dionne, tell me a little bit about your situation before you applied to this marketing internship here at Passle and kind of what drew you to apply at the time.
Absolutely. So I was finishing up the second year of my degree, and that was kind of like the key turning point of whether I was going to go in to do a placement or go straight into third year. But I really and truly knew that I needed to get a lot of experience before graduating because I knew how hard it was to actually secure a role after university, especially with the state of the market currently. So what happened was I did spend quite a few days, 2 months on LinkedIn between classes, kind of looking for something whether it would actually boost me or something that really interested me. And especially as I was very keen to get in like experience in the marketing industry, I saw the advert for Passle, and once I read it through, I was like, this is the one for me. This is really perfect. It would allow me to continue my studies while getting the experience I needed to stand out. But another benefit was I love tech, I love software. And so gaining the marketing experience I needed in a development area that I really love was just a cherry on top.
Absolutely, that's great. And yeah, I mean, I know that at the time in which you joined alongside another intern. So there was the two of you, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And you kind of spent the year working alongside that both Charlie and Natasha on the events and kind of marketing comms side of things to kind of really broaden your experience. How did you find the interview process? If I can draw you back to a year ago, if you remember it, but was it pretty kind of seamless and an enjoyable process?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It was nice to be able to get to meet the team kind of prior before doing anything else. So it's kind of like talking through my experience, getting to know the team and what it was like being at Passle. And then throughout the interview process, the next stage was kind of do a creative project. And it was really interesting because it was the first time where I was given creative freedom to express like another area of interest and how I would digitally market that kind of brand, and having the feedback from them as well to see what they liked and what they didn't like and areas where I would have improved was really nice. Them having the opportunity to be given to join the team and grow as a marketer and get to learn so many different things and tools with the most amazing people was honestly an honor.
Oh, so lovely to hear. I do remember after the team met with you that they kind of dropped me a note on Slack and they were like, "Yeah, we found her. She's the one. She's our girl." So they were very excited to get you on board, and it all worked out fantastically. So, in your own words, kind of tell us about your experience working alongside the marketing kind of team over the past year. Tell us about that.
So it's been absolutely brilliant. I have learned so much within just a year. I have been able to participate in working on campaigns, the strategies behind them, but also email marketing, something that I've always wondered how it works. How do they just do blanket emails that also look so very interesting that gets consumers clicking and viewing? So getting the experience to see that. The team honestly did an amazing job in training me, making me feel comfortable, welcoming me, but also allowing me to be my authentic self, which is kind of hard in certain areas of the industry where you kind of have to mask and be a certain level of yourself. But being able to be authentic self while training and growing with really the most amazing people in the industry has been great. And also working alongside Snarly, who was the other intern, was great because you had someone to bond with and discuss everything that was going on, and like any issues you had when you swapped over, you could actually communicate with each other and actually learn from each other as well. So it was really beneficial.
Yeah, it was nice to have that kind of like buddy up system. So you have someone to kind of like lean on and kind of like work alongside. And you two both did a fantastic job. I was so impressed with what you've achieved in the past year. So what would you say if you had to describe the kind of top three things or skills that you felt that you've come away with that you really developed in? What would those top three things be?
The top three things would be data analysis, copywriting, and content creation. Data analysis, focusing on that first. Originally, I have never been confident in handling data or even analyzing it in large quantities. I can do it in small quantities and feel like, okay, I get where I'm going. I can see what I need to pick out from it. But since working with the team and them actually training me how to actually analyze it in depth and how to realize here are certain things that are working from our campaigns, here are the best times to optimize our performance and engagement rates, I felt like I've grown massively in that area, but also my mindset is now more data driven. So it allows me to help different people, different companies stay ahead of the curve in their industry, which I think is very much needed now, especially with the uprise of
Mm,
AI and technology growing.
mm.
With copywriting, I have always been a wordy writer. I can write a whole heap of words on paper. Someone else can read it, not get what I mean. But when I speak it, it's like, okay, I get what you mean. So, especially working alongside Charlie doing the comms marketing, I've definitely narrowed in on my skill, definitely matured with my copywriting skills. That is now clear, concise, informative without extra waffle, but also is very creative and very engaging for the audience we're trying to reach. So that is a very skill I need, especially with the way the industry moves and with AI that can do the writing for you, but loses that human authenticity. And then with the content creation side of things, I had a decent level and experience within it, especially with my academic background. So when I got into the role, especially when doing events and taking videos that we've done in the past and everything like that, I realized, okay, I have the foundational skills, but how can I level it up to ensure that I'm doing my best to boost the brand in the most positive way, make engaging content that actually stands out from other competitors that we have in our field. So I did take the time to research the best way to utilize certain software. I even had conversations with Sam, our head of marketing, about how can I do this? What kind of issues that I'm appearing with certain systems, or does he know a certain way to change this, that, and the other bit? And that's been really helpful. And I have made some really amazing pieces since I've been here, and especially the recent reel of our Passle event in London, the cross-selling was really
Mm.
nice because I took some inspiration from TikTok, and getting to see that be on the LinkedIn and on the Instagram platform is kind of really nice to see.
Excellent. And kind of what marketing software did you get to kind of work with and learn about that you perhaps hadn't had much exposure in before joining Passle?
The number one for me was LinkedIn Campaign Manager, because you can go on LinkedIn, see so many different ads, see how creative you can see the carousels, you can see the videos, you can see documents. And I've never understood how some of them actually have really top engagement. I know that you can get paid, you can do organic, so many different things, but I never realized how much in depth went on behind it. From here are your different campaigns for the year, these are the different targetings that you've got for it, the different structures, the different ops, the completion rates, all the different things that you have to take into consideration in order to create your marketing strategies for the next quarter or for the next year, which I think, as someone who's starting out early in her career, is so useful and beneficial to have, because if I didn't learn this now, I'd be learning it currently in a graduate role. But now
Mm.
I've kind of got that little edge up against other people. So it allows me to get a little bit of my foot in quicker into the door compared to others. So that's definitely a key one. Another one would be the campaign monitor. So, like I mentioned earlier, email marketing, always
Mm.
wondered how that worked, how people got there, and being able to actually work on a piece of email marketing that went out to some of our VIP insiders, part of the Passle, was really interesting, really fascinating to see how it actually structures and how we actually keep it really creative, how we update our clients. it's just been really nice to see and get my hands on, because email marketing, there's so many different levels, different softwares to use. So being able to even use this one that I can now grow with and take on to somewhere else and then develop that further is really important and really key, which I'm really glad that I've now got the exposure to.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's hopefully going to kind of really set you apart from others when it comes to applying for jobs in the future, that you've, already gained this experience, got this knowledge in these different kind of softwares that you've used, and you can kind of grow that kind of in your next employment, which will be fantastic to watch and see. You touched upon it a little bit earlier, but tell us about the team. Come on, let's hear it. Charlie, Sam, and Natasha, you've got some really good experience of working with all three of them. Tell me kind of how you found working alongside them.
They have honestly, I can't even say this enough. They have been amazing. They are the best. Working with Sam, Natasha, and Charlie has been a true joy. They've been super supportive throughout the experience with my degree, personal stuff that goes on, but they've also helped me a lot to grow as a marketer, especially as someone who's just done her degree, well, was working through it at the same time, and only had done one short internship. It was really nice for them to actually allow me to explore the different areas in marketing. But also, if I ever had an area that I wanted to explore further, they would look at different projects that they could get me on to push me further and get that experience that I wanted. And they all share a genuine passion for what they do and so much care, so that from what I'm learning from them, I'm actually getting the best possible experience I possibly can without feeling anxious or anything. And especially with questions, I know people say there are no stupid questions, but sometimes in certain environments, you do feel like some questions are stupid. With them, I generally have been able to ask all questions, even the ones that probably have the most simplest answer, and get the best response possible that allows me to have the clarity I need to produce the best work I can for the company and for them. And additionally, the feedback that they give has been super helpful, really beneficial. And the areas that I thought, yeah, I'm doing really good in, they've actually pointed out, okay, you're doing good in this area, but here's a thing that you could take to up level it. And
Yes.
that's been really inspirational and like a massive help in that. But when I think about the wider company, I know that I've probably moved on to something completely different. But when I think about the wider company, honestly, everyone is incredible. They are so warm, welcoming. They have the jokes, you've got the comedians, you've got so many wonderful personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when I first met everyone on the first ever annual punting day, I won't lie, I was anxious. I was definitely nervous, but that quickly disappeared with the warm welcome from everyone. I remember Connor, our CMO, who came up to me with a very firm handshake. I had no clue who he was. Firm handshake, introduced himself, and I was like, okay. And it was just really nice to be like all basically integrated very easily in.
Yes.
Like even with the recent attending London event, I've been able to have laughs and jokes and be my authentic self with around everyone without feeling self-conscious, which is very key to me and very important.
Absolutely. And I think just going back to your point about the marketing team in particular, they really do take the internship program that we run really seriously. It's kind of, I think they all of them, they recognize that it's not just, us hiring somebody to kind of come and offer an extra pair of hands to help us get through our workload. More so, it's about bringing someone on board and kind of training them and teaching them and coaching them to become a better in what they kind of want to do kind of next, their next chapter within the kind of marketing field. And they really, really love seeing people kind of grow and develop. And that's really important, because I think there are internships out there, perhaps, that, you are just seen as a kind of come in and kind of work behind the scenes and kind of, get through this list of mundane kind of tasks. But actually, we like to bring our interns in and make them feel really integrated as part of the company, that you are a kind of an extension of us, you are. Yeah. And that's why we made reference to it a minute ago, the kind of summer punting. If for any of the listeners that don't know, we host our summer party every year in Oxford, which is, of course, we go on the river, we go punting, and Dionne and Snally and all of our other interns in previous years are always invited because you're part of the team, you're part of the company, and we want you to come and celebrate with us. And yeah, no one will disagree. It's pretty nerve-wracking stepping into an environment when you're in front of everybody across the company, and many of which you haven't met. But you took it on the chin, and I think I'd like to say that I think we are a very welcoming company, and I'm really glad that you felt that, and you felt you could just come and be your authentic self and have a laugh with us. And I think you tried some of the punting yourself. I think I've actually got a photo of you, with the punt, and you kind of getting it in the water, and yeah, it was really, really good to see. But yeah, it's because all of the other interns are kind of part of us, you're an extension of us, and we want you to feel really kind of involved and welcome. So I'm really glad to hear that. And yeah, going back to the marketing team, they are the best. And yes, I may be biased, but so be it. That is just the truth. But you also kind of touched upon it a minute ago, but you obviously, whilst you were doing the internship with us, you were also still continuing your degree. So tell us a bit about the kind of the work schedule, and how did you find that slotted in with your need to continue studying and attending university lectures and getting your third year over the line? How did this kind of schedule work, and was it manageable?
So 110% the schedule was manageable. I'd have at least one day in the week where I wasn't at university, so I was able to dedicate my time to Passle and getting the work done. So it was really nice to be able to have that, because going to a third year, you have a lot of work. You're doing a whole heap of different essays. You're planning for your dissertation. You're doing 1,000 different things at 1,000 miles per hour. But with the schedule that Passle has, like with the 5 hours a week, you're able to take a break, focus on something else that actually levels up your skills. You're surrounded by people who actually want to see the best in you, help you grow, and it allows you to recenter yourself about what you want to do and who you want to be in the industry. And sometimes my hours would change to 10 hours a week, but that only depended if the team had extra work or anything they think this would actually be beneficial for you to do. Yeah. But the team was very open if I needed to change anything within the week, or if I needed to take 2 weeks out to just focus on planning for my dissertation. They were truly flexible, which allowed me to feel comfortable to get the most out of my experience while finishing up my degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're able to kind of dial it up, dial it down. And I think it's because we go into it knowing that first and foremost, you completing your degree, your studies are paramount. That's priority number one. So we can fit around that. We would never want kind of the work in which we ask you to complete to all of a sudden take kind of priority over your degree. Like, absolutely not. So that's why we can kind of be really flexible around it. You work when you can. If you need to, if you've got some exams coming up, that's fine. We just dial it back down, and we kind of wait until you're a bit more you have a bit more free time. Perfect. So glad to hear that worked really nicely for you, which is great. So I guess, Dionne, what's the plan next? Because you're kind of finishing up with us soon, which we're obviously really gutted about. It's been a fantastic over a year having you with us. But what's your kind of plan next? So I guess kind of alongside that, do you feel confident that kind of what you've used and learned through your time at Passle that you're going to be able to kind of use to accelerate your career in this next chapter?
I am very sad about leaving. I don't know. I feel like everything I have learned from Passle will most definitely accelerate my career. Everything I've learned is everything that I technically would be learning if I did do a graduate scheme straight after I finished my degree. And so the skills, the experience, the techniques I've now honed in on will definitely get me up that extra level. So roles that I probably wouldn't be able to apply for another 2-3 years, I will be able to apply within the next year, or even start applying from now, which is brilliant because, again, like I said earlier, the industry and the market right now is a bit rocky given the state of the world, but it's still manageable to find something and get your foot in the door. So once I finish up here at Passle, which is, I can't, it's actually very sad. Oh. I'm eventually going to take everything that I've learned. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm definitely going to be taking specific short courses that I can earn a certificate in specific areas of marketing and communication. So SEOs, CRMs, branding, all the core things that I will probably need to continue growing in a software industry, especially as I'm maybe looking to work in the gaming industry, or even I'm exploring.
Yeah, interesting.
There's
Yeah.
so many different areas I want to explore, but we'll see what comes up for me in the future.
Mhm.
But additionally, I want to take the time that I have now to actually focus on building my digital portfolio to help me secure my next role. Because I know, as much as having a CV or having a really strong cover letter, sometimes most workplaces nowadays wants to see the work you can actually produce and how you can bring the skills that you're saying you've got in your CV and the skills you're and experiences you're mentioning in your cover letter. Can we actually see the proof of in the pudding, basically?
Yeah, something
So
tangible. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Hmm.
so definitely taking the time to actually, here's everything I can do. These are my skills and techniques and everything. Here's my internship. This is what I've done. Here's the proof. Will definitely be highlighted in my portfolio and hopefully secure my next role.
Yeah, absolutely, and set you apart from others. Yeah, we're all very confident that you're going to go far, Dionne, just because of how highly you've performed. So yeah, we're really excited to kind of watch this kind of this that what comes next essentially. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see. And I guess the kind of final question is, what advice do you have for our next group of interns that are coming in to join the marketing team, and of course any kind of future interns that join Passle? Any particular pieces of advice that you have for them?
I have three key pieces of advice that I stand by and will always love and will take on even for myself. The first one is never be afraid to ask questions, even if you think they are stupid. That is just key to anyone and everyone. All questions are good questions because they can help clarify the most simple of things to the most complicated. But also, it helps you as a marketer grow, build your confidence in the work that you'll produce because you've now had that clarity. You've asked that question that you've been worried about of how to improve your work or how does this certain system work. You've now got that clarity. You're able to take that, build in it, grow your confidence. The second one is your calendar is your best friend. I can't say this enough. My calendar has helped me stay organized, let the team know when I'm online or when things have changed around, but also it helps me like keep track of the tasks I'm doing, but also how long it takes. Because sometimes as you develop your time and skills during an internship or even through a normal job, you need to know if you're progressing in how quick you're producing things or how quick you develop. All those little things and little nuggets that you grow as, it's good to have you in your calendar because you learn from it. And the final one I would say is be yourself. You have truly been chosen to join a team and grow as a marketer. You are unique, you are talented, you have the potential to be the best version and the best marketer possible in an industry. So although you may feel anxious, nervous, let it go, be free,
Mhm.
like just be yourself through and through, because that's how you can truly connect with your team on such a personal level and professional level, but also you get the most out of your experience by being yourself.
Agreed, yeah. And I think I kind of add to that from a recruitment perspective, because of course I lead all of the kind of hiring, and I interview a lot, people that want to kind of come and join Passle. And I really, really, really value people that come to an interview that are themselves, that show their kind of true self, that aren't, putting on a front or some formality just because they feel that that's what they need to do. I look for people that are authentic and
Yeah.
kind of show their personality. That is what's most attractive for certainly for us here at Passle, but I'm sure for many other employers out there. You certainly showed it in your interview and throughout the whole year that you've worked with us, and that's something that we kind of continue to look for when we hire into Passle. So couldn't agree more. Be your true authentic self is so important. We don't want we want people to be real, not fake ultimately. And yeah, I'm really glad that you could have brought that to the table with us, Dionne. It really kind of shone through. But those are three wonderful pieces of advice. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, I mean, this has been really interesting. I've really loved hearing kind of how the past year and a bit has gone for you, Dionne. We're obviously gutted that your time is coming to an end in a couple of days, but maybe let's not talk about that. We've still got you until I think it's early next week. But we want to thank you for your time. And this is really valuable stuff because hopefully like I said, future interns that are interested in joining Passle can have a listen to this and kind of really understand kind of what you can hopefully come and get from working with Passle if you kind of put your all into it and kind of show up and want to learn and want to ask those questions and kind of, you know, be yourself and enjoy what you do. So thank you very much for kind of your feedback. You've been wonderful, and we know that there's lots of really exciting things on the horizon for you and as part of your next chapter, so we can't wait to kind of watch and see you grow. I think that's it for now. I will leave you to the rest of your day, but thanks again, Dionne, and take care, and we'll hear from you soon. Okay.
Thank you.